What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Boutique podcast. That's right. This is the Geek Boutique. We are the Geeks and Company. As you can see, this is still not Messiah Complex cosplay, but it is Rob the Bad Guy. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Good, good. How's your week going this week?
My week's going great. I am actually off now for the week, which let's just pause. Let me back up for a second. If you haven't voted, I don't know what time you can vote till, but get out there and make sure
9.
you do that. 9?
Yeah.
You haven't voted, come back, watch this after.
Yeah.
Go vote.
Yeah. Polls for Ontario voting are open until 9 o'clock. Very, very important. You go. Silky is on saying just over here, impatiently waiting. Mr. Nowhere You Bear, Mr. Freakish Workshop. Boys, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
We're gonna be seeing Noah in a couple weeks, actually. We haven't gotten to hang out in a while, so that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Like I said, Jeff is still missing. He's still on his little bit of a hiatus. He's taking a little bit of a mental break. But we will see him maybe not next week, but we'll see him very, very soon. Well, we're going to see him at Toronto Comic Con, that's for sure. So we'll also get to that in a few minutes. First of all, if you are watching this and you have not subscribed to our channel, oh my God, what are you waiting for? It's 100% free. It costs you nothing, not 1 penny. On sale for $0. If you click the notification bell, it'll always let you know.
Get it before the tariffs come.
The YouTube tariffs. Oh, and if you click the like button, it really helps us out. It helps propagate our videos through the YouTube sphere. So make sure you click that like button. There's already a bunch of people on. Andrew Saxon is on. Keith is on. Nada is on. Mercy is on. Mercy. Mercy is on. Mercy. Marcy is on. What is up, everybody? In the chat. Do we have anything we wanted to talk about right off the top of the bat of the episode, or do we want to get straight into it?
I mean,
I feel like it's formalized now, right? So I think we might as well just get straight into it because you know what time it is.
Time is it
for the news? Andre is saying, yeah, subscribe, damn it. That's right. I'm going to send Andre to get you. He's going to win everything. So if Andre hangs around you, you'll never be able to win anything in your life ever again.
You know what? There was, when I was collecting my info today for community news, I saw Aurora Beam's cosplay is doing a giveaway. You're going to have to go over to his profile to check it out. And I was going to tell you all about it, which I'm actually now. But then I thought, you know what? Andre's just going to win anyway. So
what's the point?
Don't bother.
What's the point? The news this week in the news. New Andor season 2 trailer hits the internet. Actually, did you watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer.
So,
and I got to say, I haven't seen the first season.
Oh, you have not?
I haven't.
That's weird. Okay.
But this trailer made me go, shit, I got to go back and watch the first season because that looked pretty dope to me.
Did it really? Okay.
It did.
Okay. And I'm interested. That's very interesting to me. I'm not going to lie because, I mean, the trailer itself doesn't look bad. Actually, it's shot quite well. I love the mix of, the chick bang effect where, seen and him differently, seen and him different again.
And that's probably what cooked me on it.
Yeah, that was a dope edit, especially for a trailer. So that was really cool. The music though, like the Revolution Starts Now by Steve Earle, like this is not Top Gun. Like, what's going on here? Like,
but that's sold
Star Wars, right? Like, it did. You're right. This just didn't feel Star Wars to me, and the first season of Andor, although I can't say it was bad. I know a lot of people.
It was,
if you say you hated Andor, I mean, you're gonna get friggin' ripped to shreds, right? I didn't hate Andor, not like Jeff hated Andor, but I found it very long. was very long. There's a lot of episodes of him in prison doing shit, and it's like, can we just fucking?
Well, I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and that was too slow of a burn for me, and I noped out at that point, which is probably why that this great edit of the trailer for season 2, and maybe they're just showing like all the action in 30 seconds, but that's where I was like, oh, okay, now it's getting interesting. Now they're
so and perhaps, and I think you're right. I'm hoping the pace is going to pick up in season 2, because if it's just like season 1, it's going to lose me. I'm not going to lie. It's going to lose me completely. See, it's funny. See, Megan is saying I hated Andor. Nada saying Andor 1 was my favorite of all the spin-offs. I mean, that says a lot. Noah's saying I freaking loved Andor season 1.
So it seems like you're either way over here or you're way over here, or you're not even on the screen anymore. Where did JS go?
Wow. Second week in a row this happens. I don't know. You froze. At least on my end, you froze. And then we all went. So you both went. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Anyway, moving on.
Either way, yeah. Season 2 Andor trailer's out. Go check it out. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. So go watch it after the show, and then come back on YouTube and leave us a comment in down below to let me know what you thought of Andor season 2. I'm real interested in what people are going to think about the feel of this trailer. Cool edit, dope trailer. Didn't feel like Star Wars to me at all. We're gonna move a little bit over to DC now. This is not new news, but it has been kind of officially announced that there is a Teen Titans live action feature in the development at DC, or specifically at Warner Brothers or DC Studios now, or whatever they're calling themselves now. With Anna Nogueira, the writer for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, attached to write the movie. I don't know how far along in development they are. IMDb has released an article saying that the team is going to be the animated series typical Teen Titans team, right? Cyborg and Robin and Beast Boy and Starfire and Raven, basically. Perfect. Right? The typical team. So that's what they're saying it's reported to be. That's all we know. My question is how far is this actually in development, right? Are they saying, oh yeah, we're gonna start on this after we see how
it
does? Is that type of a situation?
One of these they leaked it out.
Yeah, like are they announcing movies like 5 years ahead of time that may not
testing to see what the response is?
Megan is saying, guys, we can't see JS. That's weird.
Well, I feel for you because I certainly can't carry the show on my own.
JS, the Invisible Man. Well, that's weird. Hang on. Let me go.
Oh God, it's just me again. Come on back, Jess. There he is.
And I'm back. Can you guys see me now?
I can see.
That's weird. But... Could you hear me? It sounds like
I could
hear me, just not see me.
Yeah.
JS comments looking like John Cena. You can't see me. Well, hopefully you guys can see me now. There you go. I'm gonna put it back. Andrew Saxon is saying, I meant for
the initials
intrigue aspect. Andor had some. Well, it just disappeared on me. There we go. Had some of that as it relates to funding a resistance. There was that aspect. It was kind of neat. And you know what? I'll say this about Andor. I don't want to spoil it for Rob here because I know Rob hasn't seen it. And if he's interested in seeing season 2, he's probably going to want to go
back. Going to have to.
Season 1. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but the Mon Mothma storyline and I forget what the other guy's name is. Skarsgård. I forget what his character's name is, but that storyline is better than Andor's storyline. Like, I couldn't give two shits about Cassian Andor's storyline. The good storyline was the rebellion, like the inner workings of the rebellion, right? The underbelly of Coruscant. That was the fun part about the show. So, yeah.
Hold on a second here. We still can't see you.
Still just the JS initials. Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Maybe you should unplug your. I can see you just fine.
Yeah, that's very weird. You know what? I'm just gonna leave and come back. How's that?
Yeah, I'll just do the jingle. Technical difficulties.
If you want to keep going with the news, you can move on. We don't have to keep going on.
All right.
Teen Titans, but if you let me leave, I will be back in hopefully like 30 seconds.
All right, you go do that. I will move on to something else here. All right, seeing how he's gone, let's move on to the next item here. A couple of sad news today. Woke up this morning to find out Gene Hackman and his dog were found deceased in their home. Foul play suspected, and he's back.
You off completely? Did I just
can't see you? We still can't see you.
You can't see me?
No, if you go on YouTube, you can see our channel.
Yeah, it looks like I killed everybody.
Me. You killed everybody.
Because we back. There we go.
Back.
Can you guys still see me? No, I guess you can't see me. I don't.
Technical difficulties still.
Okay, so I'm going to try this. Let me change to my other webcam. Boom. Can you guys now see me?
Let's see. Coming up momentarily. No, I don't think so. Not yet.
We can see you now, JS.
Oh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Apparently you can see me now. Weird. Well, if I switch back to boom, this camera, can you guys still all see me? Now, this is going to sound really weird for the people that are listening to the podcast, you know, on Spotify. When
they're driving in their car to work, like, no, I can't see you.
No, yeah. Andrew Saxon saying a fresh angle. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird angle of the rest of my office. Yes. So in any case,
we're back.
Did you touch on?
I skipped. No. I wanted to save the Star Wars stuff for you, and I went on to the Gene Hackman thing. I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
We could talk about that for a second, but you can continue with that, or you can go back to Star Wars. But
yeah. So I mean, like I guess like you were saying, Gene Hackman and his wife and dog all found dead in their home. So something clearly
very bizarre story there. Don't want to dwell on it too much. But.
Yeah, very bizarre, but very sad story. He wasn't a young man though, 95 years old.
No, didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, he's always going to be Lex Luthor to me. I mean, that will always be for me his most iconic role will always be Lex Luthor. But yeah, he was not a young man, that's for sure.
No.
We also lost Michelle
one more time.
Trachtenberg, this week, 39 years old. Michelle, mostly known for Buffy and Gossip Girls.
Yep.
They haven't definitively said the reports are saying there is no sign of foul play. She apparently did just come off of a liver transplant.
Oh,
so there are thoughts that perhaps there was complications with the liver transplant, and then unfortunately they found her passed away in her apartment yesterday morning.
That's way too young.
39 years old. I mean, wow. Sheesh. Yeah, very young.
Our hearts go out to those families.
All of the families. Should we move on to a little bit of Star Wars?
Yeah, let's go over to Star Wars.
I don't know if these are good news, bad news. They're just news. For one, Revenge of the Sith is officially returning to theaters. That's right, celebrating its 20th anniversary. Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of your sister.
Revenge of the Sith returns to theaters this spring, celebrating its 20th anniversary for 1 week, starting April 25th. Everywhere in the U.S. and select theaters internationally. I don't know what that's.
Are they doing like I don't know how many different cuts or remasters of that are there. Are there any specific one that we know they're doing? Original?
Well, I'm pretty sure when it comes to those ones, there aren't a bunch of different cuts.
No, okay.
The prequels, I think there is only the one original cut. It's not like the original series that has like. There's the original, there's the remastered, there's the THX, there's the
director's
special
cut
edition.
and version,
not for the prequels. At least I don't think so. So it's coming back out in theaters. I don't know what that's going to mean for us here in Canada. Are we actually going to get to see it in theaters again? I don't know. If you get a chance, check it out. All of this in the midst of everybody and their grandmother announcing to the world that Kathleen Kennedy is finally retiring. Well, CNN came out and said, well, hold your freaking horses, guys. Nothing's actually been announced. But the rumor is, like it was after the end of her last contract, that Kathleen Kennedy is reportedly retiring and leaving Lucasfilm at the end of her contract later this year. There has been no official announcement by Lucasfilm. I know a lot of people are very, 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 very happy about this news because a lot of people feel like Kathleen Kennedy is in large part responsible for the state of Star Wars today. I think that, potentially she did some damage, but I think they were on the right track, especially with Dave Filoni having a bigger role in the creative side of Lucasfilm. So her leaving at this point now doesn't necessarily mean good things, even if I admit that, she probably wasn't great for Star Wars. Her leaving now, I'm not sure that this is going to necessarily mean good things for Star Wars. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Really? But big news in the world of Star Wars, if true and if any of that happens. We should go back. Actually, I should have rearranged these a little bit, and that should have followed the Teen Titans news. Warner Brothers Games officially shutting down a bunch of their game studios. Monolith Productions, Player First Games, Warner Brothers Games San Diego, all shutting down. Which also means that the Wonder Woman game that has been, like, they've been talking about this game, I feel like, for like
years.
Right? Like 2020, like pandemic, they were talking about this game.
And right? So now that game's just
gone.
Okay.
It's not happening. Monolith is gone.
Are they going to be left with any game studios, or like are they getting out of the game business entirely?
That's a good question. That's a good question. They probably still will have some of the studios around making games, but it definitely looks like what they did with DC Comics. They're cutting the fat and they're scaling down, and it's Warner Brothers Games is going to be running on a skeleton crew, like everything else it feels like at Warner Brothers and DC these days. Where do we go from here? Oh, big news. This one's for Jeff. Jeff, if you're listening, big news for Jeff. I think everybody knows by now there's a Lanterns series being developed. Is it a series or a movie? I forget now. But I think it is a series. Lantern series being developed right now, and HBO Max has posted the first pictures. Now, I was going to bring up the picture. I had it shared, and of course, with everything crashing on us, I lost the share. So let me go grab that here for a quick second, because they've released a picture.
Here, I got it coming up here for you.
Yeah, I got it right here. There we go.
You got it? All
yeah,
right.
There we go. And voila, boom. Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan. Aaron Pierre is Jon Stewart. Lanterns, the HBO original series from DC Studios, now in production. So when I read the title, HBO Max releases first look at Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, like, yes. And then it's just them out of costume. It's like, wait, so is this like a behind the scenes shot of them pulling up to work that morning? Like, what's going on here?
I bet you $100 this is just going to be one of those shows where in 10 episodes or 8 episodes, however that many they do, it'll be the very last one for 5 minutes. Do you see them in a costume?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I agree that we're going to see them very little in their costume. That being said, you could tell Hal Jordan already has his ring on it. Well, his power ring is on his finger. So, they're clearly still Lanterns. But yeah, I was kind of hoping we would see them in costume. Now, I know Kyle Chandler. Do you know Aaron Pierre?
I do. and I know him from. I'm trying to look up the movie. He was in a movie on Netflix that I thought was really good, and that's the first introduction I had to him.
Either way, I don't know him at all.
Rebel Ridge.
Yeah,
it was on Netflix. Great movie. He was pretty good in it. So if he's as good as he was in this, he's a good pick.
Keith is saying everybody has been checking the ring on Chandler's finger. Yeah, I mean, it's very prominent there. You can see it. Well, I don't want to say quite well because it's not a great quality picture, but he's clearly a lantern at this point in whatever this is going on in this movie. I know Kyle Chandler very well. Aaron Pierre, I don't know at all. I've never seen him in anything. I wouldn't have pictured Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, but clearly they're going with an older Al. Hal being older and John, I guess, maybe being a newer lantern, or I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what to think. We're not seeing much here. I know Jeff is going to be real excited because this is probably his favorite property in the whole wide world. So hopefully they don't fuck this up. I really hope they don't screw this up. Finally, for the news this week, I'm sure everybody's seen by now, John Bernthal is coming back as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again. There's a bunch of pictures of him online with Charlie Cox with his brand new Punisher vest. You're going to see a ton of Daredevils and Punishers again coming out shortly. That being said, it has been officially announced that John Bernthal is writing a Marvel special presentation. So a one-off short movie / episode of a show for the Punisher's return to Disney Plus. Does that mean that if that goes well, they're potentially going to make a new Punisher show?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Punisher was by far my favorite of all of the Marvel shows. Like the Daredevil was great. Punisher, I thought, was amazing. I really, 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 really hope that turns into a full show.
Me too. I still love Netflix Daredevil season 2 where we first saw the Punisher.
Yeah,
it's such a good season.
Yeah, I think that's probably the single best season of all of those Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah,
it's that season 2 of Daredevil.
Large part to Jonathan Bernthal.
100%, 100%, a large part to that character. Definitely. And that is it for the news. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, make sure you leave us a comment. We'll see what we can do. Otherwise, this usually means, well, I don't know. What does it usually mean, Rob?
It means we are going to talk about the community.
Mm-hmm.
And insert jingle here. Community news. Alrighty, we're gonna have to do a remix for that soon, but here we go, getting started. Toronto Comic-Con update. As you know, the Geeks will not have a booth there this year, but you will see Geeks there. You will see all of us at one point or another doing various things. JS and I on Saturday. I think we're going to bring back our Predators and make some noise with those. So we're really excited to do that. Moving on from there, shortly after that,
2 weeks later,
we will be rocking Game Expo in a huge way. And it definitely seems like that's the place to be for cosplay in March because there's just packed lineup of all kinds of different guests.
Can we stop there for a second?
We're going to pause here.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about the fact that, some of the big shows are fantastic, right? Because they're big shows and there's a lot of stuff to go to. And I feel like some of the cosplay guests lists at some of the big shows are dwindling to next to nothing. Whereas other shows like Toronto Game Expo is having a freaking list of cosplay guests the size of my freaking arms. So if you're a cosplayer and you want to support cosplay and you want to, come out and get dressed up and support your cosplayer friends, this is the show to be at. 100%. This is becoming the local cosplay con. There's no ifs and buts about that one. This is going to be the convention to be at. Not to mention,
it's
an after party.
Yeah, it's very much got that local vibe. The way London's Comic-Con's got the local vibe.
Yeah,
the way Game Expo's going.
Yeah,
still looking at Toronto Comic-Con, they only have 3 guests on there. Fantastic guests, but little bit seems a little bit strange. On the flip side, Game Expo, I think there's at least 15 or 20 Toronto or cosplay guests from the Toronto area, and everybody that their associated crews are all going to be there in support of them. So it's going to be tons of cosplayers there.
Yeah, so come on out. It's going to be a great time. We're moving our after party from Toronto Comic-Con to Toronto Game Expo. I'm hoping, or at least the plan is, for Toronto Game Expo's after party to be a little bit different. It's going to be a Geeks party with a twist, in the sense that we're going to try to get some of the actual guests from the show to be at this party. So you folks can actually come and hang out with some of these celebrity guests and cosplay guests and so on and so forth, voice acting guests, after hours, have a drink, shake their hands, hang out and chat. We're going to be able to do that. So that's going to be a wicked, wicked time. So even if you're not coming to Toronto Game Expo, you need to come and check out to the Geeks & Co. after party, because it's going to be a freaking blast.
Although I just want to insert a little disclaimer here. I don't know if you don't go to the Game Expo, I'm not sure if you can go to the after party. I don't know what the entrance requirements are there. So before anybody comes back and yells at us, you might want to just look into that.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's going to be a problem, but yeah. Well, Harley, there you go. Queen Harleen's in the chat, so maybe she can confirm to us whether anybody else can come at the after party. I would assume so.
We hope so. It's going to be at Hotel X.
Yeah,
in this place called the Drawing Room on the 27th floor, which I've never been to, but I'm excited to go. So
if you're saying I volunteer, there you go. So we got another cosplay guest that's going to be at the after party.
Awesome.
I haven't played a video game in 40 years, but I'm coming. Perfect. You know what? It's not just about video games. There's a whole tabletop games and board game section of the con. There's like a bunch of tables set up where people are playing card games. It's all sorts of stuff. Retro games. It's
card games, board games, retro games, tournaments.
40-year
span of video games from like the 80s to current to everything. Cosplayers, your usual tons of vendors. Of course, the Geeks & Co. are there. There's going to be all kinds of different things on stage, panels. Quirky Cosplay is going to be there. Well, so many people is going to be there. Announced. So last week, I think we did a big announcement because they had announced a ton of people. Since then, I think they've added Lei Chi Moon has been added as a guest to Toronto Game Expo. I'm not sure if there's been any other ones added, but they have so many that I don't know we have any room for anymore.
Yeah, I've lost track. I'm not gonna lie of who I've shared and who I haven't, and
yeah.
But hey, listen, I'm not complaining. That's amazing. This
is awesome.
It's exactly what we need, in the community, is these conventions that are more friendly to the cosplay, right? I mean, it's how the frick is the hobby supposed to grow if cons keep shunning the hell out of the cosplayers, right? Like,
and what I would say to that, over the last few years, we've noticed that growing theme. But while certain ones have shrunk,
others are growing
in exponential ways. So
yeah,
I think that's naturally sorting itself out, which is great to see.
Things
are flourishing. Things are doing really well for now.
Yeah.
Back over to Toronto Comic-Con for a second. A number of photographers have been doing some announcements on Instagram, and I just wanted to call out a few that I have seen in no particular order. We have Zappy Pics, Solo 2 Photography, and of course Rotide Media are just a few of the ones that I saw this week sharing posts that they're going to be doing. If you want to book a shoot with them at Toronto Comic-Con, you can go reach out to them.
I thought I also saw Kukabro. I think is going to be
Kukabro. Yeah,
I think I also saw. I think he might.
I wouldn't be surprised. Probably Andrew taking photos.
Yeah, because I
all
believe
the cool ones probably, but those are the ones that are posting different things that you might want to go check out.
Queen Harleen is just answered her question here. Coming to the show is preferred, but everyone is always welcome everywhere. So there you go.
Okay, there you go.
So yes, we want you at the show. Please come to the show. But if you can't, that's okay. Still come to the after party. Michael Myers is saying half of the chat will be there as guests, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. I mean, fuck, this is amazing. This is what we're talking about, right? Like anyway, I don't want to go back on that.
No, yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Also, I want to give a shout out to the Canadian Podcast Awards, our friends from there. They are, we're flipping back. We're staying with Toronto Comic Con for a moment here. They have a booth there, and what they do is they offer an hour up to fellow podcasters like us, where if you want to spend some time at their booth, you can apply to them to promote your podcast. And what they ask is that you have some sort of a game to play or something to drive some engagement. We have done that in the past. They very much like to give everybody a chance, so they're opening that to people who've never done it before. So if you happen to be a fellow podcaster out there, and that sounds like something of interest to you, reach out to the Canadian Podcast Awards. They have
Monday Night Nerd.
Monday Night Nerd. I'm not sure if he's done it before, but that would be a great opportunity for you to go and try that out. And I'm sure there's so many things going on, but I haven't been able to find it all. The one thing I do want to call out is today is Pokemon Day. So happy Pokemon Day to you, if that's what you're into. I'm not sure who deemed today Pokemon Day, but it is in fact Pokemon Day. So shout out to Pokemon.
I think out of all of the Geeks and Co., well, I don't know. I think Megan might have been into Pokemon. Megan, I think you can confirm. But I think Rob, other than, again, I'm not sure about Megan, but I think between for sure me, you, and Jeff, you for sure know more about Pokemon than we do.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Only because my kids make me start up games.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Them, but you know what? I'm here for the community.
Listen, we're gonna have fun with Pokemon. We have something coming up. We didn't have a chance to do it when Jeff was in town, but believe me, we've got some fun stuff coming that we've got planned. We just need the time. We need more time. There's not enough hours in these fucking days these days, eh?
Yeah, we're just gonna
It's ridiculous. Anyway,
we'll bring our Pokemon idea to a future podcast.
Moving along.
That's all I got for community news. So I'm sure, like I said, there's tons of stuff going on, but I don't want to sit here and repeat everything I said last week. Try to find new stuff to bring you this week, so we will cut it off there for now.
Alrighty. If you guys have also any community topics, events, things you want us to talk about, send them to Robbo the Bad Guy, and he'll make sure to add it to his list. Well, right now, I think it's time for another one of our new segments. Well, it's not new anymore, I suppose, because this is just a reoccurring weekly segment, is what I should be saying. It's time for Cosplay Corner. Oh, there you go. No, you were muted for some weird reason.
All right, we're good.
Trying to get this thing going here. Do you want to take this on?
I will take this on.
You go right ahead.
Okay, so as you know, or maybe you don't know, but you're learning for the first time, when we do this Cosplay Corner, we like to highlight cosplayers that make a difference somehow in the community or contribute in certain ways that we want to call out some of highlight their special sauce. This week's cosplayer, he's an amazing cosplayer known for things from Batman to Red Hood, and most notably lately, you would have seen his Green Goblin that I believe he has won some awards for. Today, we're talking about the Freakish Workshop. There he is right there in his dope ass Green Goblin. He will also be, as Meyer said, he's in the chat, I believe, a special guest at Toronto Game Expo this year.
That's right. That's right.
Him and Michael Myers will be dually co-hosting a panel called Cosplaying with EV Foam 101, which freakish. I think everybody knows his name is Noah. If I use that, sorry.
Well, his name in the chat is Noah.
Perfect. I'm calling. You know what? I can never keep track of whose name I can say and whose name I can't say. We're going with Noah. So Noah is, he's an artist. But in particular, one of the things that Noah does, he's an amazing foam smith. And the way that Noah that I want to highlight sort of gives back to the community is I'm a consumer of patterns. If I go out and I'm making a new costume, I don't necessarily have the skill to make my own patterns myself. I have to go out and find one or buy one. And Noah is got an Etsy shop and pumps out patterns like crazy. He has got so many cool things in there that he's done, his own style, his own artwork. He makes the patterns, provides them available to people for sale at a very reasonable price, and makes very cool, very concise videos to follow along, instruction videos. So recently he's asked me to test one of the ones that he's working on putting out. Sorry, Noah, I'm only kind of halfway to getting started. But what I want to say is his videos are so good in how he explains how to cut. There's been several times where I go and I buy a template and it's like there's no legend for how they want you to cut inside, outside, bevel here, bevel there, 45 degree. He's very clear at how to do that. And so if you don't know Noah, I don't know how you don't know him. Go give him a follow. Go check him out. Very dope cosplayer. Yeah. What else can we say about?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate the point that you touched on, because I think it's a very, very good point, that especially when you're starting as a cosplayer, especially if you want to start making foam pieces, it could sometimes be very, very intimidating. And it's sometimes hard to even try to think, well, where do I even start? Well, where you start is with somebody else's pattern. At the very least, you've got a basic shape that you can work from. Noah has a ton of patterns that he sells on his Etsy shop. He's got a new one, actually. It's like a Catwoman cowl pattern. So yeah, he keeps coming out with new stuff. Check it out. Anytime you need something, go check out his Etsy shop. You never know when you're going to find something that you can use. Oftentimes, it might even be for something else, right? Like you're going to find a pattern and you're going to use that pattern to, I don't know, do something completely different, right? So again, just to show off a couple more of his cosplay. This is a Zemo that he did.
Yes.
A lot of foam work for Noah, which is fantastic. I mean, I'm like, I mostly work with foam, right? Or the very least, I did a lot of foam work. Yes, this is also all foam, FYI. So yeah, you could also do this. And if you don't know how to make those patterns, well, go check out Noah's Etsy shop. You can at least get you started. And then you're right, his videos are fantastic. He also sent me the video and the pattern. I haven't told anybody yet, but because of everything that's going on, I just don't have the time. But yeah, if you're not following Freakish Workshop, go follow him everywhere. Go check out his YouTube channel. Also got a series called damn it, what was it called again? The Cosplayer. So you want to be a cosplayer. We were episode 10, I think. I think we were episode 10. And I believe episode 9, the episode before us, was Trizrex. I don't know if you know Trizrex.
I know of him, yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of alien xenomorph.
He's got a very particular style too, yeah.
Very particular style. So that was his episode. I believe the episode right before us. And I believe the episode after us, or a couple episodes after us, was Chris Cosplay. I don't know if you guys know Chris Cosplay. If you're into making stuff and YouTube, probably know who Chris Cosplay is. But he was also on the episode. Jeff was on an episode. Megan was on an episode. Myers was on an episode. Go check it out. A great, great, great series that Noah has put out on YouTube.
Yeah. And you can come see him at Toronto Game Expo. Check out his panel if you want to learn more about foam smithing.
Yeah, I know, right? Game Expo, it's going to be a blast.
He's just been like on a rampage lately, pumping stuff out. I believe he's even rebuilding or improving.
Chris Stanley, that's his name, Chris Stanley.
He's improving his Green Goblin. I don't know how you can improve on it. I don't know what you would want to do.
So you're right. I don't know the pictures that we're seeing here. I don't believe this is the new.
No, I think that's OG.
Yeah, but he has been working on upgrading that armor, and I don't see any of this here. So, well, there you go. This is the upgraded chest piece. So yeah,
I know. I don't know if there's beans to spill, but I know he's working on something else. If you follow him on his
don't say it. I know what you're about to say.
Special he's cooking up. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, because I don't know what the timeline on that project is.
Need to follow him.
Yeah, it's making me want to figure out my Doc Ock. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If he's gonna finish that anytime soon, I gotta find a way to rig my Doc Ock so I can wear it. And you
need Fan Expo.
Oh, yeah. So
we're gonna see his upgraded Green Goblin will arrive Game Expo. Cool. Looking forward to checking that out.
Perfect. There you go. Let me see here. Can Geek Games and Collectibles. Honestly, I'm more psyched for TGE than I am for Toronto Comic Con. I mean, I'm hearing that from a lot of people, actually. A lot of people are like, Comic Con's great, and we're gonna go and check it out. But Game Expo is where it's gonna be at. I think it's really. Oh, and he says it. Nah, spill all of it. Rhino. There you go. So Noah's working on a Rhino. I believe he's posted at one point the head on his, or a part of the head on his profile, or at least I've seen it. And it's like a mechanical style Rhino. So, or armor, I should say, armored style Rhino, not mechanical. Yeah, it really makes me want to pull my.
It's going to be one of those big ones, right? Like, how could it not be? Right?
Yeah. No, he's going to be massive in there. Yeah, I think, and Noah, maybe you can confirm, but I think he also said he's going to be on, I mean, not stilts, but platforms. So Noah's already a giant of a man. Like, he's going to be ginormous in this costume. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'll be fun when it drops.
Oh, yes. Man, we've been on for 45 minutes and we're moving the show along. We've just been rambling on and
tearing through,
and we're tearing through. We do have one more quick segment though that we do want to get to before we get to the end of this. We want to do this right now? We might as well.
Sure, why not?
Another weekly segment that we try to keep as much as possible every week if we have the time, and we're calling it Just the Tip. Vera had a great tip actually last week with the way that she straps her armors together with elastic bands, but backs them with nylon webbing to keep the elastic band from fraying and falling apart.
Yes.
Freaking genius. My tip is also going to be on the 3D printing side, although her was more attaching 3D printed parts together. My tip is more around people that 3D print in your basements. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily have the space to put their 3D printers, in bedrooms or elevated spots. So a lot of people tend to put their 3D printers in the basement. Rob, what's two common things about basements?
They are cold.
Yeah.
They're wet.
Yeah. So when you're 3D printing, your big and number one enemy really is temperature changes.
Yep.
Quick temperature changes will fuck it up every time. The print will lose adhesion on your bed. Your layers will stop sticking. You'll have layer shifting. Your filament will get brittle and not stick. I mean, you name it. If there is temperature changes in your area where you print, quick and rapid and extreme temperature changes, you're going to have trouble.
And always when you go from I go from sort of where we are now, like the winter, and then you switch over to spring and summer. Everything you did in the winter to like get it
It's
dialed
the
in and
worst,
right, it
bud.
switches over to the other, and
Yeah.
everything starts getting all messed
Yeah.
up again.
It's the worst. You're right. As the temperature starts rising and you start using your furnace less and less, your basement gets more damp and more damp.
Yep.
Right? Because you're using your furnace less and less. And what does that do? Well, if you print mainly with PLA, like we do, PLA is hydrophobic, which means that the PLA will absorb the dampness in the air and become brittle and just break, which is impossible to print with. So if you have those issues, you might want to consider not printing in your basement. It'll save you a lot of headaches. If you do have to print in your basement, keep in mind when you're printing. Like I said, at this time of year is going to be horrible. You're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to re-level it all the time. You're going to have to mess with it a lot. But more importantly, store your filaments in a dry place. Now, here's the actual tip. When you buy a roll of filament, the roll of filament always comes with a little packet of silica. Keep the packet of silica. Grab a large Ziploc freezer bag. Throw your packet of silica in there. And when you're not using your roll of PLA, stick it into that Ziploc, pull the air out, seal it. Your filament will be like new every time you want to use it. Now, if you
I never even thought of that.
Well, there you go.
That's a great idea.
I do. If you look through my pile of filament, and every box that is open, that filament is in a Ziploc bag with silica packs. Now, on the flip side, if you do end up in a situation where all of a sudden now you've left filament out for too long, you haven't printed in a couple of weeks, it's been real damp, and all your filament does is snap. You can't even feed it through your extruder because it keeps snapping. Well, if you happen to have a food dehydrator, a lot of people, that's actually what they use them for. They'll put their filament in the food dehydrator and they'll let it sit at low temp for a few hours and it'll pull the moisture out and then they can use them again. Now, I haven't done that. I don't have a food dehydrator. I've heard it works very, very well. Personally, if I have filament that has gotten damp, I just chuck it. I buy filament by the box. So if it's been sitting there so long that it's gotten brittle, chuck it, open a fresh one up. The problems you're gonna
throwing it into a food dehydrator at that point.
No, screw it. It's so friggin', it's such a pain in the ass to try to print with filament that's been, that catches moisture. Yeah, garbage.
Just a couple weeks ago, I was printing a Godzilla, and my filament was brittle and cracked. And so, one of those things where you wake up in the morning and instead of having like a big nest, it just printed nothing.
It's printed nothing. Yeah.
Which is always a piss off.
Oh, well, there you go. We lost Rob. Are you going to lose me? I don't know. We seem to be having a lot of problems with this tonight. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Very, very bizarre.
We're gonna have to look
into this. How bizarre. I think that's going to be it for now. Saphira Cosplay saying a couple companies make filament storage container systems too, that you can put the container on the base to read the levels of humidity. You're right.
They do.
I've also seen some of them that are like a dispenser. So you put your filament in and it's got an actual hole for the filament to come out. So the filament box is a specific storage box to keep the humidity away that lets you also pull the filament out and feed it to your printer while it's still in the box. Anyway, yeah, it's there's solutions out there, but
that's a whole nother level. Yeah, haven't reached that level yet.
Yeah, I ain't got money and time for that. Like that's, when you can use a Ziploc bag and the packet of silica that already came with the filament, that's good enough for me. And it works. I'll tell you right now, it works because I've been doing this for years. I've been printing in the basement for years. So I've had to fight those struggles. And I know right away, the minute I start having issues with my prints, there's a temperature change.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time I start struggling with my printers is because we're in that time where the temperature is changing, right? Once it's settled, then it's fine. I don't have a problem for then 3-4 months. Then the temperature starts changing again. Then I'm screaming and yelling and going through nozzles. And
now, on that note, I will agree with you on everything you've said. And as if you've been watching this podcast for a while, you know that I used to be in the basement. My setup here looked different. I've had all these problems. I've now moved from the basement to the second floor. Most of those problems are gone. However, I do have some different problems. There are some cons as well, mostly heat related. So in the summer, when it's already struggling to keep your house cool, when I have, I've putting on my large bread printer, the Cobra 2 Max here. Those heated build plates generate, obviously, the shit ton of heat, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So you have a different problem where you've got too much heat and you've got to add extra cooling to it, right? If you weren't printing with cooling in the winter, in the summer, you got to add it. So less problems, but different. There's a little bit different. Overall, I would say the higher up you can raise it in your house, the better.
Yeah, there's a good argument to be made for enclosures. Yeah. I mean, printers that already come with enclosures, there's a reason why they're more expensive because, man, they're fantastic. And having a printer with an enclosure will also give you the opportunity to print things like ABS, for example, which would otherwise be toxic, right? Like you can't breathe that air while it's printing. And it also is extremely temperamental. So you need to be able to keep the temperature in that enclosure at a very, very specific temperature while you're printing. So yeah, having an enclosure is great, but again, who's got time for that? Nobody got time for that.
I'd rather just spend most of my time sanding.
Yeah, exactly. Marcy's saying here, we have trouble with our fusion printer in the summer. Lots of fans in the machine, leaving the door open. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's kind of the thing with when you're 3D printing, especially when you're FDM printing. I don't know if people that print resin, if they have those same type of issues. I haven't really printed resin at all, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't know about resin printing.
I don't know. Actually, Marcy, maybe you guys can tell us. Yeah, I know Paul has a couple resin printers. I don't know. Anyway, I know he has at least one. So I don't know if it's as temperamental, but yeah. Changing temps are a killer when you're FDM printing.
Yep.
Mr. Rob, we have some. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if we shouldn't be spilling any beans yet, should we? Should we spill the beans at all of our new cosplay that we're going to be premiering
at Game Expo?
At Game Expo.
No, we will not.
Should we just surprise people with that? No, okay. Well, guys, we got some new stuff coming forward in terms of cosplays. You better have your cameras ready because this one's gonna be good. Otherwise, I think that's gonna be it. Any final words? We're gonna end this one a little bit early.
I am going for a tattoo tomorrow. That's what I forgot to tell you.
That's not a Geeks tomorrow. And Co tattoo. That's right. That's
I'm
right.
going for my big tattoo.
Well, you
tomorrow.
Did tell me. I knew you were going. I forgot that was tomorrow. But yeah.
Yep. Going tomorrow. Looking forward to that. That's where I'm going to spend my day tomorrow. Do
you know how long of a sitting
it's going to be a long one. We're going to try to do it probably an 8-hour sitting. At least.
At least I would think so. I mean,
yeah, we're going to try to get it done in one.
So
no, I'm not doing a full. Well,
you're not.
You can't do a full sleeve in one day, but I'm quarter sleeve. Yeah,
but it's a full sleeve that you're getting done, so you're going to have to go for a couple of very long sittings, especially at first.
And so the first, I'm getting a xenomorph. I'm doing a snarling like xenomorph on my bicep, so that's going down tomorrow. She's going to try to do it all in one session. It might go into 2. So,
looking
forward to that. you'll have to suffer through photos of that for at least a few weeks. So
you mean on your Instagram?
On my Instagram, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll forgive you, bud. We'll forgive you. Well, you do have to figure still out. You still have to figure out a time and a place to get your Geeks Go tattoo. Because you gotta participate in the gun show.
Well, we'll see what's going on at Comic-Con. Maybe
I don't think they have a tattoo artist or tattoo alley at Comic-Con.
You're right. They don't.
Like the thing.
Right. Lots of time for that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Game Expo. Maybe you want to start bringing in the tattoo artists
for the Geeks Go tattoos.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, guys. I think we're gonna cut it off here. We still have a bunch of people watching. I can't believe you guys are still listening to us rambling after almost an hour. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I don't know what we're gonna do next week, but I'd like to maybe perhaps do like a top 10.
Yeah, I think we can get back to a top 10. Let us know if you'd be interested in a top 10. Send us a message
in a top 10 or one of these old type of shows that we said we would bring back, periodically. So let us know in the chat what you guys want to see. In the meantime, I think that's going to be it for this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you all stay geeky. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to make sure you never miss anything.